Stand for invocation led by Reverend Spencer Baggett, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence following the pledge.
Let us pray. Our Father, we pause for a few moments this morning to acknowledge you. Yet, God, if we're honest, many could admit to feeling stress and being busy. We have agendas. We need to accomplish many things with this time we have. But Father, may we not rush past this moment of holy opportunity too quickly. May we recognize the significance of this moment. May it not just be in keeping with a tradition, but may we wonder about the reasons this very tradition began. May it not be something that just usually happens while we look toward the real reason we gather here. May this moment, when we speak the name of Jesus, hold deep and reverent significance. May this moment not be so brief that we can get on to our business while still merely appearing to be your people. God, in these moments, brief though they may be, would you speak into lives in a way that only you can? There are great needs for leadership. We are thankful for our leaders. Father, we ask that you would bless them, that you would guide them, that you would give us clarity, and that you would allow us to seek peace in the way forward that you lead. We have great needs. Tragedy is all around. Division is on our doorstep. Father, do what we cannot. Unite. Help us to see your hand guiding, and give us the faith to follow. May we all trust you to guide us into blessed days, because as we call ourselves Christians, may we wear the name of Christ well, and we make you known. We are thankful to be able to acknowledge you in this place and ask your help and guidance and blessings. Guide us that we may make you known this day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you would please remain standing for a moment of silent prayer. We wish to offer our deepest sympathies and condolences to our colleague Joel Daves and his family in the recent death of Joel's brother Patty. Again, if you would in your own way, a moment of silent prayer for Joel and his family. Thank you.
Roll call, President Gregory.
Here.
Vice President Richardson.
Here.
Councilmember Manzi.
Here.
Councilmember Small.
Here.
Councilmember Williams.
Here.
Councilmember Daves.
Here.
Councilmember Rich.
Here.
Statement of rules.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
One thing for sure, we are not going to get too warm today unless there is a lot of heated discussion. It is chilly in the chambers. We do want to welcome those of you who are here this morning, kind of a light turnout, probably because it's Wednesday, and the change of meeting date has probably thrown a few folks off who normally come to the meetings. But we do thank you for coming this morning. Several of us were on the Chamber's annual leadership trip yesterday. That's why we are holding the meeting today. The mayor and several members of his administration were also on the trip. We enjoyed our visit in Greenville, South Carolina. We were able to bring back a lot of great ideas. There are a lot of parallels between the city of Greenville and the city of Mobile, and we hope to be able to work on some things here locally that we saw in Greenville that we think we can do here to continue making improvements and positive steps forward for our city here in Mobile. I do want to announce, I know we've already started putting out the word, but because of a couple of extra meetings this afternoon, the council is not going to tour the cruise terminal today. We had planned that for later on this afternoon at 2 o'clock, but we will not be touring the cruise terminal this afternoon. We are holding a finance committee meeting directly following this council meeting. Also, at noon today, Chief Barber is holding a meeting encompassing a number of organizations over at police headquarters, and some of our council members will attend that. A couple of things that have been announced throughout the city. You probably heard something that the council and the administration have been working on for some time is being able to provide internet service to all of our recreation centers. A number of them have had computers, some have been sporadic. Now they all do have computers and internet service in all of our recreation centers, and that's a great step for people in the communities, both for the young people who live in the neighborhood who need to be able to use computers, as well as seniors who did not have the availability of a computer at home. So it's great for everyone in our communities, and we're very thankful that we have the internet service provided as well as the computers at these centers. Also, you probably heard that we're working on the timing of the signals on Airport Boulevard. I know that's a blessing for everybody in this room, that these signals are going to be timed better. Hopefully we won't have the tie-ups that we have experienced for so many years on Airport Boulevard. And also on the agenda today, we'll be looking at a number of things dealing with the cruise ship coming in. As you all know, November 9th is the date for Carnival to return to Mobile. And on the agenda today, we have a couple of items that deal with finishing touches to be able to get that cruise ship in here. With that, the rules of the council are very simple. We just ask everyone to please turn off all of your electronic devices. If you come to the podium to speak, you'll have 5 minutes. At the end of 4 minutes, you'll hear the buzz. If you have any questions or concerns when you're at the podium, please give them to me. I'm the chair, and I'll ask the appropriate member of the administration or council at that point to answer your questions at that point. Thank you again for coming, and Ms. Lambert, we will proceed.
Approval of minutes of October 11th.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Communications from the mayor.
I'd like to thank Council President Gregory for having read my notes before I made my remarks. She has hit on every point that I wanted to hit on and done an excellent job. So thank you, Gina. I will make a couple of remarks. One, on this trip to Greenville, for those that were there, Councilor Richardson and Councilor Manzi, it was an amazing experience. What they have accomplished in a 10-year period of time is nothing short of miraculous. The 70 people that attended that 3-day event while we were up there came away energized and enthused about the opportunities that we have before us as a community, and kind of left there thinking that we all have this can-do attitude of that we'll continue to press on with the initiatives that we have to help make Mobile a better city. So very encouraging meeting there. One of the only things that the Council President Gregory did mention is that having to do with field talks. I'll join the Community Foundation along with the Colombian Ambassador Juan Carlos Pinzon for Colombia Meets Mobile on November 2nd at Dolphins. There'll be a discussion centered around economic development, trade, and connecting communities. I'd also say that today at noon, I will be joining Chief Barber with the community stakeholders to discuss the recent increase in the murder rate in the city of Mobile, which is probably one of the most significant issues that we have facing us right now. So I will be there to listen to what everyone has to say in regard of addressing the solutions to this problem. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mayor.
Adoption of the agenda.
So move.
Second, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Appeals, we have requests for waiver of the noise ordinance on October 29th on Elizabeth Street, November 5th on Mill Street, November 19th in Bienville Square, October 29th on Edgewood Street, November 4th at Benson Road and Patricia Drive, on October 23rd on Dolphin Street, and October 22nd in Langen Park.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion on any of these? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Public hearings. Today is the public hearing to consider the application of Preston Griffith doing business as Mobile Pedicab for a certificate of public convenience and necessity for pedicab service.
This is a public hearing. If there's anyone who would like to come to the podium to discuss this issue, please come on down. Mr. Griffith?
Does that mean me?
That would be.
Okay. Well, my name's Preston Griffith, and I bought some three-wheel bicycles or pedicabs in March of this year, and the end of March, 1st of April, I started the process to get permits and license and certificate from the city, and it went real smooth. It was actually very easy, very smooth. We'd have my fingerprints done at the city police department on Highway 90. We mailed them off to the FBI, and everything was fine. I called them 2 weeks to get the status, and they said it would be a 15-week period before they even opened the envelope. So I accepted that, and 21 weeks from the start, I got a letter back from the FBI, said I was a good guy, and I took the letter down to the city clerk's office right away, and they presented the package to them, and here I am, and I'm excited and I'm motivated about this. I've got an idea. It's not a new idea to Mobile. It's a new to Mobile, but it's not a new idea, and that is to have a pedicab service here in town. And I think with the Destination Mobile and the cruise ship Carnival coming back and the possibility of being a stop for other cruise ships, a port of call for other cruise ships, the tourists, the downtown lunch people, the restaurants, the hotel, the special events at downtown. I just think that my pedicab service would enhance the Mobile experience, and I'm here to ask the City Council for permission to do that.
Well, we are glad that you did not give up hope.
Okay.
Thank you.
Madam President, I think he might find some consolation in knowing that he'll be the last to have to
Yeah.
go through that 21-day wait, or 21-week wait.
21-week
wait,
yes,
that's right.
weeks.
So
Yeah.
Well,
we'll
good.
give you a plaque or something. We hate that you had to do that. But we've seen it now, and I'm going to correct that today, matter of fact.
Well,
So
the process that I did with the city with the permits and stuff was almost easy, and I could do it myself without a lawyer. The FBI was a little hang-up, but it's okay. I dealt with it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, we've heard that from multiple sources, so we're going to make a change on that today.
Well, thank
you and appreciate your
Madam
patience,
President.
and look forward to having you on the streets.
If
Joe?
I could
Yep.
just say a few words during this public hearing phase, I've known Mr. Griffith somewhere between 35 and 40 years, and I have the highest opinion of his probity, judgment, and character, and I'm delighted to have you doing this, Preston, fully supportive of it, and all that is secondary to him being a resident of District 5.
thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Madam President,
Yeah, good luck.
I'd like to add
Mr.
some
Manzi?
comments to this public hearing as well. In light of the fact that this business will function primarily in District 2, I am certainly glad to support this very innovative idea. I'm glad to have this additional transportation amenity available not only for our residents, but for those who would choose to come here as a tourist. And I can also second all of the fine comments that Mr. Days made relative to Mr. Griffith's character. While he does not live in District 2, his business is located prominently in District 2. I do purchase my petroleum there on most occasions. And so I look forward to this being a great success and amenity to our downtown.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much.
Thanks, Preston, good to see you.
Thanks, everybody.
Again, this is a public hearing, so if there's anyone else who would like to speak to this? Okay, with that, then the public hearing is closed.
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Ronald Hunt.
Hello, I'm Ronald Hunt. I reside at 1351 Sandra Drive, Mobile, Alabama 36618. I'd like to thank you for hearing our letter today. I hope you've all received it. I tried to get it distributed to everyone before I got to the podium. There are 25 signatures on that letter. Last night about 10 o'clock I got a 26th signature, and I've not reprinted it, but I will be emailing you a copy of that letter with the 26th signature on it later this afternoon.
Okay.
This is dated October 19th, 2016. To the Honorable Sandy Stimpson, Mayor of Mobile, the Mobile City Council President Gina Gregory, our Vice President Fred Richardson, and the other distinguished members of the Mobile City Council. We are writing you today as a coalition of volunteer tourism ambassadors and supporters of Visit Mobile, which was formerly the Mobile Convention and Visitors Bureau. We wholeheartedly thank you for level funding both Visit Mobile and the History Museum Mobile for fiscal year 2017. Both institutions have more than graciously and effectively managed our volunteer tourism ambassador program. We have been so lovingly managed by Cecile Clark, Jennifer Fondren, Sheila Flanagan, and Walter Calhoun. Similarly, we appreciate the effective leadership of Greg Reynolds and Ron Jamrow of the Mobile History Museum and Al Hutchinson of Visit Mobile. We have been directed by dedicated professionals, and we are proud of the long record of volunteer service of Mobile's Tourism Ambassador Program. In 1983, the City of Mobile made Fort Condy our official visitor center, managed at that time by Eva Golson. Then, as the 20th century made its way to a new millennium, the Mobile Convention and Visitors Bureau directed our visitor center under the capable hands of Ron McConnell and Cecile Clark. Most of the long-serving volunteer tourism ambassadors began their service during this time. Today, we have a dedicated corps of volunteers that recently met with Visit Mobile on October 7th, 2016, concerning the future of our volunteer tourism ambassador program. Out of our concerns for the future of Fort Condy and the Visitor Center, we developed this citizen volunteer coalition that now expresses our citizen volunteer concerns about the long-term viability of Fort Condy as a historic site, museum, and location of Mobile's Visitor Center. We would like to make the following recommendations to the Mayor and the Mobile City Council. We are advocating on behalf of the Fort Condy Visitor Center, whose $200,000 in annual operating funds were eliminated by passage of the fiscal year 2017 City of Mobile budget unanimously approved by the Mobile City Council on September 27, 2016. We encourage the city to hire a permanent visitor center manager dedicated solely to the mission of providing hospitality services that highlight Mobile's many tourism treasures and hospitality businesses and enterprises. If the information we have been told is correct, there are unspent operating funds from the fiscal year 2016 City of Mobile budget allocated under the line item Fort Condy Visitor Center. We respectfully request that these unspent fiscal year 2016 allocated funds be used to hire a permanent visitor center manager to effectively manage this essential city function. Our next recommendation is we encourage the city to continue to utilize the first permanent location of Mobile, settled in 1711 with the wooden stockade named Fort Louis, as the official visitor center of Mobile. We feel the historic integrity of Fort Condy that replaced Fort Louis in 1723 effectively portrays our unique history as the first permanent capital of French Louisiana. Although our present treasure is not in fact the original fort, it was accurately reconstructed thanks to the dedicated research and efforts of local historians and architect Dewey Crowder. In addition, this historic location is easy walking distance to the Mobile, Alabama cruise terminal, allowing our cruise ship visitors the opportunity to learn more about our city before or after their cruise vacations. Our third recommendation: we encourage the city to continue to include Fort Condy as a managed historic museum site within the contractual requirements of the Mobile History Museum's annual performance contract. Our best understanding is the History Museum of Mobile has a 5-year performance contract that includes operation of the Old City Hall and Market, Fort Condy, and the Phoenix Firehouse Museum. We hope you will continue to honor that agreement and maintain the integrity of the exhibits that the Mobile History Museum recently updated at Fort Condy. We feel it is strongly preferable to continue management of this historic site by the Mobile History Museum rather than leasing Fort Condy to a non-government business entity by contract. Got 2 more recommendations. Can I read them or am I out of time?
Was that the former? Go ahead.
The fourth recommendation, we encourage the city to continue the Volunteer Tourism Ambassador Program within the Visitor Center at the Mobile, Alabama Cruise Terminal and its citywide special events and conventions. Because of the present situation now facing us, the Volunteer Tourism Ambassador Program is temporarily split between Visit Mobile for conventions, the cruise terminal and its special events, while the Mobile History Museum is temporarily managing guest hospitality at the Visitor Center. We strongly encourage continued management by Walter Calhoun as the Director of Volunteer Tourism Ambassadors, irresponsive of the entity he is employed with in fulfilling that function. A single manager is preferable for coordinating volunteer service so tourism ambassadors are not overly burdened. Volunteers often become disenchanted when different managers are unaware of the burdens they sustain in their volunteer service. The final recommendation. We encourage the administration and Mobile City Council to consider our concerns and acknowledge the true love that each tourism ambassador feels for our city as you develop a permanent operating plan for the City of Mobile's official visitor center. We respectfully request that the mayor and Mobile City Council make public statements of intention about the future of the visitor center at Fort Condy at the next Mobile City Council meeting. We also solicit your public support of the Volunteer Tourism Ambassador Program. We feel you should address our concerns face-to-face by scheduling a meeting in conjunction with Ron Jamro, the new director of the Mobile History Museum, and Al Hutchinson, CEO of Visit Mobile. By doing so, the Volunteer Tourism Ambassadors will be able to address their concerns to the administration and City Council about the future of visitor hospitality services in Mobile. We hope you will take time out of your busy schedules to address our concerns by meeting with us. We encourage you to do that through those organizations that manage our program. However, you may contact me if you wish to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hunt, appreciate it. And I know the mayor has your letter, and then I think Ms. Lambert has the letters that you gave to each of us. Okay, anyone else?
That's all.
Okay.
Ordinance is held over. 84054, authorized limited obligation special tax warrant, Series 2016.
So moved.
Discussion?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Thank you very much. I realize that this is the will of the council and basically housekeeping on these tax warrants, which again is the incentive program with the Bel Air Mall ownership. I am, however, still at a quandary when it comes to a conflict of interest. I was very surprised after pointing out last go-around that the city attorney also works for the same firm that the Bel Air Mall ownership had contracted with. I pointed this out to say that this is truly a conflict of interest. However, I was assured that there was a buffer in another attorney that actually represented the city's obligation in doing these warrants and this incentive program. But no matter what, I watched the program develop and felt very uncomfortable knowing there was this conflict of interest between the city attorney, planning office attorney, the firm that they work with, the contract that the City of Mobile has for their legal counsel. And when I got the paperwork, I saw that this was submitted by Ricardo Woods, who is a partner or part of, I don't know his participation in the firm of Burr Foreman. And again, I believe that the city should be overly cautious when you have these kinds of conflicts. And I was concerned that even though I pointed it out last time, obviously it fell on deaf ears. And again, I thought it would get tighter and there would be a greater transparency to not have that happen again. So I will be not voting in favor of this, even though, again, I realize I can't go backwards in time, and the city is obligated to bring this to the court system for its approval. And I don't know if those attorneys that also work for the mayor's office and for the planning office will be the ones carrying it over to the judge for the final approval or not. But again, to see that conflict was very troubling to me. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Opposed.
Okay, 2 in opposition.
63055, amend City Code 63 pertaining to record service.
Move to table.
Second.
All right, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolutions held over, 37612, recommend approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a lounge retail liquor Class 2 package store license for Tipping Sideways on South Broad Street.
Second.
All right, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
09652, reallocate monies from capital projects, equipment, administrative services in the capital improvement fund to capital project recreation, Hank Aaron Stadium renovations and repairs. And do you want me to take these separately?
Just go ahead and take them together.
Okay, 21660, authorized contract with Youngblood Barrett, construction and engineering for Hank Aaron Stadium renovations and repairs, field drainage improvements.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion,
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Thank you. Again, in order to stay consistent on these 2 items, which are basically funding drainage at the Hank Aaron Stadium, I did check, and I'm very pleased to learn that the Bay Bears did pay their last installment. They pay quarterly, and I believe I think for the last 3 sessions, they have paid their $25K per quarter. It might be further than that. I know they were in arrears even past the $900,000, which was forgiven. And I've always felt like we, as a city entity that has so much capital that we have to do, should turn to the owners, the Profit Center, that utilizes a big city facility. I realize we have an obligation to maintain it, but I'm not even sure where this money transferred from. I mean, it's administrative services. I don't know where that $250 could have been spent or should have been spent or was left over. Didn't get that information. And again, the Profit Center should participate more with the city of Mobile. It's a partnership. And I know they felt like we left the stadium in bad condition, but you know, had they paid appropriately in the past, that $900,000 could have gone towards maintaining the facility. So they helped create that lack of funding with this partnership, and it's a new ownership today. But again, it still has a very bad track record, in my opinion, as far as participating with the city, when, again, all our parks could use a lot of these funds instead, where we don't charge people to come to, and all of our children and our adults that want to recreate use. So again, I just feel like there's not enough emphasis on the private sector who's taking money out of this community to participate in also helping to get their field prepared for their needs. And again, being consistent.
All right, anyone else? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
21663, authorized contract with Essex
That's a tough one, yeah.
Tongue twister.
Hospitality, doing business as Concord Shore Services to provide passenger shuttle services between the cruise terminal and the overflow parking area at the southwest corner of the Civic Center.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
21664, authorized contract with Willett Rogers Painting Contractors for Mobile Information Technology Building.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Ordinance is being introduced for the first time, 59056.
Motion for the suspension of the rules for immediate consideration of ordinance 59056.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
59056, amend Chapter 59 of the City Code relating to application for certificates of public convenience and necessity.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Consent resolutions being introduced for the first time, 37668 through 37675.
Motion for the suspension of the rules for immediate consideration for resolution 37668 through 37675.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
There's no objection, I'll take all of these together.
All right.
37668, 669, 58, 670, 671, and 37675. Recommending approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a retail beer, table wine on off-premises license for the Boiling Pot on Airport Boulevard. To the ABC Board for issuance of a restaurant retail liquor license for Ang Bahay Cabot on Osho Road, Suite D4. Assess cost for removal of weeds, Group 1536. Add Freeman's Contractor Services to the list of private contractors to abate properties declared public nuisances, and recommending approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a retail common carrier license for Asmara Quest.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolutions being introduced for the first time, 37672 through 21674.
Motion for the suspension of the rules for immediate consideration of resolution 21673.
37672.
27672.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, and the rest for label for 1 week.
which is just the
because of
one,
council
674.
Wait.
No,
we
we
got
were going to
three.
do
We
7-3.
got
I
six.
think I thought we had unanimous consent for 673 also.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
The dredging.
okay,
We're not doing this.
672,
We're not doing this.
suspend the rules for 672 and 673,
673.
and 674 label for a week.
All right. Second, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
37672, approve the application of Preston Griffin doing business as Mobile Pedicab for a certificate of public convenience and necessity for a pedicab service.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
21673, authorized contract with CNC Marine for City of Mobile, Alabama cruise terminal improvements, maintenance, dredging.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Announcements.
All right, we'll start on the end with Mr. Manzi.
Yes, there'll be a District 2 community meeting on next Thursday at the All Saints Community Church. Again, a District 2 community meeting next Thursday, 6 p.m. At All Saints Church. I want to invite citizens across the middle breadth of the district to come out as we discuss 2017 CIP and other important issues pertinent to the district.
All right, Mr. Daves.
Thank you, Madam President. As President Gregory has indicated, we will have a City Council Finance Committee meeting following this meeting in order to talk with our financial advisor about the possibility of refunding some of our long-term debt. The only other thing I wanted to mention was we recently received a notification from Moody's Investor Service that the city's rating, which was maintained several years ago but with a negative outlook, has been improved to a stable outlook. And I recommend that all interested citizens read the report, the credit opinion from Moody's, because it's very instructive. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I wanted to just point out one thing, and that is they list different challenges and strengths of the city. Then they talk about the factors that could lead to a downgrade. And first among those is a decline in reserves, and the factors that could lead to an upgrade, first in those is an increase in reserves to levels more in line with higher rating category. So I just want to caution my colleagues as we move forward. We have been very successful in building the reserve. My opinion is we need to continue to improve the reserve, but we certainly don't need to put ourselves in a position where we're reducing the reserve and putting at risk our favorable credit rating. Thank you, Madam President.
All right, thank you. Mr. Richardson.
Thank you, Madam President. I'll be holding a very important community meeting in the Tobinville community. That meeting will be this Thursday at the Tobinville Library, starting at 6 o'clock, asking all the citizens in the Tobinville community to please come out to find out what's going on and to let me hear from you. We're going to have Dr. Letitia McCain coming from Bishop State Community College, and she's going to be talking about educational opportunities and job training, opportunities to be trained and retrofitted for a new job. We're going to have our U.S. Attorney Kenyon Brown to come. He's going to talk about those felons who have served their time and they are now out and they are having difficulties getting a job. And he has a program that he has started that he can put the full faith and credit of the United States government behind them. And I would like for those citizens that may be having an issue in that respect to come out and listen to the U.S. Attorney Kenyon Brown. We're going to have representatives from the Headley Medical Clinic. It's just opened up, I guess, about a month or so, maybe 2 months ago, on Stanton Road, right near USA Medical Center. And they are there for the underserved. If you don't have insurance, adequate insurance, you need to come and hear what those those representatives, what they're going to say and how they can help you. It's there for the underserved, so you need to come and see what they're talking about. We're going to have a person from South Alabama Regional Planning Commission to come and talk about benefits that is offered by Medicare that is often missed, and they want to come and talk about some of those benefits. We're going to talk about the CIP project for the Tobinville area, the capital improvement projects, and we're going to be talking about public safety. I'm proud of the safety record. I know we have had a rash of murders throughout the entire city, but by and large, the Tobinville community has been quiet. I know we've had a double murder about 3 weeks ago, but other than that, I look at the crime reports every week, and seldom is any activity in the Tobinville area. It has been about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, since we've had a reportable incident in the Trinity Gardens community, and crime is very low in the Crichton community. We are doing good. We can do better. We will do better, but I'm very proud of what we are doing. So again, I'm going to appeal to all of the citizens in the Tobinville area to come out, be informed, let me know what's going on. Looking forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Okay, Mrs. Rich.
Thank you very much. Last week I had announced a pending District 6 community meeting where I would send postcards to dovetail into the planning consultants that will be in town for the map of Mobile. I have since learned that the district is split, as are many of the other districts who weren't signaled out. But the district is split south of Airport, or if you live north of Airport. So both of the meetings are to take place in different days of the week. It'll be hard to organize the postcard in that manner. So I'm urging residents of District 6 to pay attention. I believe the city will be broadcasting when these evening meetings take place, or actually they start at 3 in the afternoon, and then at 6:30 there's a sit-down presentation. But it's your opportunity as a resident business owner in our city to talk about the future zoning codes, your concerns, your input, your very similar to the Map of Mobile infrastructure programs that led us to hiring this consultant firm to work with our city to reorganize our planning codes. So again, I will urge people to come out and be part of that program where you get to put your concerns, your suggestions, your thoughts about how you would like to see our city develop and how you expect our codes to enhance your quality of life. So this will be your opportunity, and understand that the Tuesday meeting is south of Airport, which is a lot of residents in District 6, and west of 65. And I believe it's Thursday for the Art Museum if you are north of Airport and west of 65. And again, you drop in at 3 o'clock, and it runs, I think, till 7 or 8 with a formal presentation
where you can also discuss and put in input at 6:30 p.m. Again, pay attention and be part of that, because it's because of all of you that the codes will reflect your concerns and your interest in seeing the future of our city unveiled. So thank you.
Mr. Small?
Thank you, Madam President. Last Tuesday was a very busy evening when I left council meeting. Had an opportunity to go by the Taylor Park on Baltimore Street. I was invited to come and share and talk with the kids out there. It was a very exciting time. Went there around about 4 o'clock p.m., stood right till about 5:15 because I had a community meeting to go to. I'd like to thank Reverend Allgood and Ms. Chastain for doing such a good job at the Taylor Park Community Center. Those kids out there are very excited with their after-school program, and also like to thank the board also for helping with the kids out there try to learn more after school to continue their education and do their homework and learn more computer skills. And also, like I say earlier, that I went to Oakdale Community Action Group meeting, and also followed by the Riverside Community Action meeting on last Tuesday. And speaking of Riverside, the Riverside Community Action Group, along with Pick Up 3 and Keep Mobile Beautiful, this coming Saturday we will have a big cleanup. The cleanup will kick off at the Newhouse Park. The areas that we are concentrating in is the Riverside area, Newhouse and Gulfdale area, and Staples Road. I have sent out notice to the citizens in that area asking them to participate in this big cleanup that we are planning this coming Saturday. And again, we'll be from 8 a.m. until 12 noon. And at 12 noon, it will be followed by hot dogs, chips, and drinks. Again, inviting all the citizens in the Riverside, Gulfdale, and the Newhouse area, Staples Road area, to come out this Saturday at 8 o'clock a.m. at the Newhouse Park to help to keep our community beautiful and clean and litter-free. Also, on next Thursday, October the 27th at 6 o'clock p.m., I will be having a community meeting for the Pleasant Valley Road, Hallsmere Road, Navico Road, and the North DIP area. And again, this meeting will be on next Thursday at the Arlington Street Baptist Church on Pleasant Valley Road at 6 o'clock p.m., inviting all the citizens in those areas to please come out and help to push our community forward. In order to push our community forward, we need more people to get involved into our community, where we can strive to have a better community. Also, I have been receiving several phone calls, probably within the past 12 hours to 8 hours, about city employee, the action of a city employee and a spouse. It is against the law for any council member to direct a city employee or to chastise. The city employees work for the mayor's office. I cannot chastise, I cannot fire a city employee. Again, all city employees work for the mayor's office, and I cannot control no spouse's Facebook page and their comments at all. Again, we are governed by laws and rules, and it would forbid us to interfere with the administration action. If any citizen have any problem with any city employee, please call the mayor's office at 208-7395, 208-7395. I have expressed my concerns to the mayor this morning about that particular employee, and that's what I did. Again, remember that District 3 is a place where things are happening. Thank you, Madam President.
Okay, Mr. Williams?
Thank you, Madam President. It's good to be back in the United States of America. But I will tell you that it was an amazing trip that I recommend to anyone. Even when you think you don't have the time or you don't have the resources, it was certainly worth every dime we spent and every minute we took out of our time. Even taking my 2 high school kids out of school for 8 school days. It was completely justified having experienced what I was able to experience over 9 nights in the country of Israel and Palestine. As a side note, not only was it a pilgrimage for me, it wasn't a vacation. It was an opportunity to spend time with a family that is both Mobilian and Palestinian. Something sometimes maybe we don't think about very often, that our great country is made up of many nationalities. And I'd just like to thank publicly the Palestinian family that took us into their home for a day and fed us well. It was a really amazing trip, and I welcome the opportunity to talk to anybody individually about that trip. Again, it was all personal, and it was all privately funded. A different complete note. I'm going through some automation challenges. I like to think of myself as one that supports all the changes, and I have done so that I don't have a PC, I don't keep a paper calendar, and I know that comes with risk. All of the input that I have made into my calendar personally is gone as of this moment. It happened as a result of a synchronization with Outlook, and it happened today. So to say that I know all of my appointments and all the promises I've made for the next 4 or 5 months would not be true. And I'll just ask that I'm going to send out an email that's going to ask everyone in the district, as well as all my colleagues and staff here at Mobile, to be patient while we try to restore some of those appointments and make sure that I get to where I'm supposed to be. There's a District 4 resident in the audience today that found out that I communicate even when I'm not being communicated with, and I welcome that. I'm not doing that to point them out, but I welcome the opportunity to communicate with any district resident, and I think that somebody else in the audience today will find out you really don't even have to live in the district. If I'll make time for you, and here's the rule that I'll always communicate within 24 hours. If I don't communicate within 24 hours with anybody that's attempted to communicate with me, it means that something went wrong. So especially in this case, I ask for patience, but if you have not heard from me within 24 hours of you initiating contact with me through my office or email or text, please reinitiate, because something's broken down, and it's not my desire to ignore you or your issue. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Okay.
Arthur, you got something you want to share?
Yeah, Arthur. I did see Jenny Russell come in a little late today for the meeting, and Jenny, we talked about the chamber trip early on, and just want to thank you and all the chamber staff for setting up such a wonderful trip. We brought back a lot of great ideas, and as the mayor mentioned, very energetic, a can-do attitude. So we look forward to putting some of those best practices and ideas into practice here in Mobile. So thank you again for all that you did, and I'm surprised to see you here. This woman worked like crazy putting this together, she and Patty both, so very good. We really appreciate it. Several announcements last week. I was able to represent the city over at Williamson High School as Chevron contributed funding for the team's robotics team, and got a chance to see the robotics team in action with their robots. They will be participating in the Best Jubilee competition coming up, and we will actually get a chance to see some of these students. They will be visiting with us next month. And those robots are always spectacular. The Williamson team is very energetic, and they are looking to move up in the ranks this year. So thanks to Chevron for their contribution. On Friday at the Japanese Gardens, the Consulate General of Japan was there to present the Order of the Rising Sun to Mr. Charles Wood. And Mr. Wood is very deserving of this. He is 96 years young, and he has single-handedly, really and truly single-handedly, along with the help of his board and the city to an extent, but Mr. Wood has spearheaded the work at the Japanese Garden and making all of the improvements there. So congratulations to Mr. Wood for receiving this very distinguished and deserved honor. The Municipal Football Raiders, a municipal football association, held a special day on Saturday that I was able to participate in. They awarded Coach Billy Bedsole and Mike Chambers, who are both former presidents of the Football Association. In fact, it was Billy Bedsole who started the Municipal Raiders Football Association 45 years ago. They were both inducted into the Hall of Fame, and congratulations to them. This coming Thursday, I will be on hand to meet with the new bishop of the AME churches here in Mobile. On October 26th, which is a week from today, we will hold the very first meeting of the new Police Citizens Advisory Committee. That will take place at 1:30 in the council conference room. November 1st, everybody please put on your calendars. The council will be meeting off-site that evening at 6 o'clock at the Harmon Recreation Center. And I have a community meeting coming up November 21st at Friendship Missionary Baptist Church on Cody Road. And you'll be hearing more about that as the date draws closer. Any other announcements before we go? Mr. Cooper, you're looking like you have one.
Just to add some context to two issues that were raised per Councilman Small's comments. The post by the particular individual has been removed from the public domain. So hopefully that issue will start to subside and we can focus on the path forward. In regards to the Bay Bears, we thank the council for your passage of the drainage contract. From the administration standpoint, this is the last particular issue other than routine maintenance at the facility that the city feels is required to uphold its part of the contract. After this project is complete, we will seek the $200,000 in arrears from the Bay Bears.
Very good. Good news. Thank you, Colby. Appreciate it. Anyone else? Mr. Manzi?
Yes, Madam President. I would be remiss if I didn't briefly respond to one of the statements Mr. Cooper just made. I'm appreciative that the administration has worked with that particular individual to remove that post. Citizens in my community certainly found it highly insensitive in light of the fact that we don't know the bulk of the facts associated with the tragic shooting that occurred that took that young lady's life. All of us are upset. All of us want answers. All of us want to find the magic wand that will remedy the uptick in murders that we're seeing here in the city of Mobile. But it's those kinds of comments, that level of commentary, that only divides us as a community. I've been inundated with responses from people who live in District 2, who live all over the city, who found it highly insensitive, highly inappropriate, and I'm hopeful that type of commentary on Facebook. I've been ridiculed. I've been ridiculed personally because of commentary someone wrote on my Facebook page, and I responded. And so it would seem to me that since I was the target of that, those associated would be extra careful not to make the kind of same mistake, since I was the target of that same level of ridicule. And so I'm happy that you all have been able to work that out, because it is a great concern. I'm getting messages now, screenshots of the messages, and I'm just hopeful that that type of response and behavior won't be continued.
All right. Anyone else? All right, with that, we are adjourned.